Oh my God. Now, I want to give you an example of the nihilism, the insanity, the sickness of the Christian Fascist Party. That's what it is here in Georgia. We still have some Republicans here in Georgia, but they're disappearing at a increasingly alarming rate. The governor, the secretary of state, some of the constitutional officers in Georgia, they're all the constitutional officers are Republican, but they are melting in front of our eyes and arising from the pool of scum that is a Republican is a Christian fascist. They're here. And Kelly Loeffler, who was appointed a senator by the Republican governor of Georgia to take the unexpired term of our former Republican senator, one of them, who had to retire because of health reasons. So she's been a senator for maybe a year and a half. And before that, she was the worst example of plantation capitalism. Just a gimme, grab everything, 6 homes, mansions, even cheating on her taxes. Now, the latest thing on Kelly Loeffler is that she had some kind of an assessment on one of her properties reduced by tens of millions, or by millions, not tens of millions, but by millions of dollars in order to save several $100,000 in taxes. For these predatory capitalists, there is never enough. There's no such thing. Who said it? You can't be too rich or too skinny or too thin or some such shit. Was that Dorothy Parker? I don't even know. I really don't care. The operative there for these predatory capitalists, the plantation capitalists, is you can never be too rich. Gimme, take. I don't give a goddamn about you, your family, the environment, the planet, nothing. You people can fuck off. I want everything. This is Kelly Loeffler. This is Kelly Loeffler, who wants to continue as a do-nothing, con artist, grifting senator from Georgia. So here's a reality. And this is brought out in the Post. Right now in the United States, we're confronting two of the most monumental and possibly apocalyptic crises of the modern era. Yesterday, Wednesday, over 3,300 Americans died. Yesterday, Wednesday. Do you understand? 3,300 Americans died yesterday of the coronavirus. The latest weekly jobless claims are a shocker. They're now totaling nearly 900,000, approaching that horrendous 1 million mark again. Hiring is down dramatically. More than 14 million of us face a cutoff in the pandemic-related unemployment benefits. Oh, I know. Supposedly an agreement was struck last night between the Christian fascists and the people who still believe in democracy and trying to help Americans. We'll see how that goes. The filthy pig, the orange bastard in the White House, has threatened to veto it. We'll see what happens, right? So what is the American or the Christian Fascist Party? What's their answer to this pressing and urgent state of affairs? The former Republican Party. Well, you might say it goes like this. Provide the absolute minimum in financial assistance, and only when the political pressure to offer that bare minimum becomes too overwhelming to ignore. Now, that's how Greg Sargent puts it in the Washington Post. Think about that. Provide the absolute minimum in this country, in the United States, the absolute minimum. If people die or lose their apartment or have their home foreclosed on, fuck them. So what? Who cares? Fuck them. That's the attitude. That's what Kelly Loeffler puts out. And meanwhile, instead of offering a serious agenda to deal with either crisis, the financial crisis or the death disease crisis, These Christian fascists are trying to sell their party now as a check on a wholly manufactured one, and that is the specter of an impending socialist Antifa democratic takeover. Oh, it's coming, and we don't have time to worry about sickness or vaccines or employment or the destruction of the environment. No, because the Democrats and their Antifa accessories are coming to destroy what, you son of a bitches? My God. And finally, what the Christian fascists rely on is voter suppression. They rely on that to do the rest. If fear and lies and deception only works part of the way, then start eliminating the number of voters. And Senator Kelly Loeffler's latest antics here in Georgia lay all of this bare and obvious for people to see. And Greg writes, first, let's note that there are important exceptions to these ugly tendencies. Some GOP officials, these are the ones that are disappearing and dying, folks. Some GOP officials have defended our elections at great personal risk. A handful of Republican senators flatly condemned Trump's effort to get state legislatures to overturn the popular vote. And another handful of Republican senators have been prodding their party toward a compromise economic rescue proposal. And a few others are even trying to craft a new pro-worker economic agenda. But that's not Kelly Loeffler. If you watch her actions, you will see, if you watch, is to become overwhelmed by the sheer nihilism, the negativity, the destruction that seems to have captured so many other Republicans, the ones who are now the Christian Fascist Party. Loeffler is now offering herself and David Perdue, the other Republican filth, who also faces the runoff. She's saying that they are the last line of defense against a, are you ready? Marxist takeover. And last night, Loeffler was on the Fox sewer, and like a robot, like an automaton, she sat there and said, quote, "We are the firewall to socialism in this country." We are she and David Perdue, we are the firewall to socialism in this country. And at the same time, she is flatly lying about the so-called affirmative agenda that Republicans are offering to voters. There is none. Loeffler said this week that Republicans are, quote, focused very much on delivering relief that Democrats have held up time and again. You lying bitch. Oh, you lying bitch, you. The Democrats had a relief package sitting in the Senate since March. Since April. It's been sitting there. And the turtle, the filthy bastard, McConnell, will not allow it even to come up for discussion, much less a vote. It's bullshit. And for months now, the Democrats have wanted generous stimulus payments and unemployment assistance, and the Republicans opposed them. And the Democrats wanted relief for the state and local governments who are really, because of the loss of tax revenue, are really taking it in the jaw. Money for policing, money for emergency services, money for road clearing, money for road repair, money for snow removal. I mean, it just goes on and on. And the Republicans have more or less raised their middle finger to America and said, no, you're not getting shit. You're not getting anything. Hi, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. As you know, we've switched formats and are now broadcast exclusively on the Progressive Voices Network. So that means you get fewer program interruptions, no corporate commercials, and lots of profanity. But our format change also means some of our radio listeners no longer hear the program. It's been a while since I mentioned our podcasts, so you may have forgotten that there is a way to listen to this program anytime you need a good dose of screaming. Visit MikeMalloy.com and subscribe to our podcasts. As a podcast subscriber, you can download the program to your mobile device and take me with you wherever you go. And if you have a friend who needs a dose of truth-seeking, you can give a gift subscription as well. That's MikeMalloy.com, and never miss a minute of the uncensored fun and frivolity.